and welcome to another Wellness Wednesday. I am your host, Shanae, and I have my friend Curtis Jackson here. He has been a pillar of the sobriety community, I believe, in our area. Um, and we're gonna listen to his story. So, Curtis, you want to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about how you got to this?
Did you go in and out or what?
Yeah, I did go in and out. Sorry.
Uh, that's that's fine. Yeah, I can get started. So my name is Curtis Jackson. I was born and raised in Buckland, Minnesota. I am a father of five beautiful children, um, and I am currently a homeowner. I am currently working in the substance use disorder field as a counselor slash program manager at Angie Bomatis Recovery Center in Cass Lake, Minnesota. So, well, I was addicted to opiates, and it was a very long battle, before I finally found recovery. I think I tried like 14 different treatment centers all throughout the state of Minnesota, for anywhere from East Grand Forks, St. Cloud, Hastings, Grand Rapids, Duluth, Muskegon, Brainerd. So I've been all over the state of Minnesota, just trying to find my path, so to speak, and and I started off by just, not really knowing what I wanted to do after high school. I mean, I did have an opportunity to go play baseball, but I felt like that wasn't fulfilling enough, even though, I loved baseball. Um, I found myself injured, and I found myself, like I said, addicted to opiates. I was prescribed a low level dose of Vicodin and Percocet, and my addiction just kind of went from there. I really tried to keep myself away from all that stuff in high school, just because I knew I had them addictive personalities. I watched my parents struggle with it. They still do today. I watched my twin brother struggle with active addiction, and he still struggles to this day. So when I state that I'm a homeowner, my parents literally live 3 miles from me, and I don't ever really see them. It's been a great journey. I met a lot of great people like Shania, along my way. I had an opportunity to be in recovery with Shanae and a few other individuals in the Grand Rapids area, where, we just kind of started off with Sober Squad over there in 2016. I had a few good brothers that, we just wanted to do something in recovery that was different. We had Bobby Rose, we had Corey Babb, we had Jared Anderson, we had Lucas Lenortson, and we just wanted to do something different, and we wanted to do something better for our community. I wasn't necessarily from the Grand Rapids area, but it was home for a long time. And sorry, my kids are trying to talk to me.
It's okay, I get it.
But so where was that? So my story started with wellness court. I was looking at going to prison, and I didn't feel like I was gonna be very successful if I went to prison. So I advocated for myself pretty well, along with a few other individuals that really truly believe that, given an opportunity, I would be able to be successful in recovery. So I had judges advocating for me. I had attorneys advocating for me. I had other probation officers advocating for me. I had all kinds of people just advocating, because they saw in me what I couldn't even see. They knew I was capable of so much more. And I went through wellness court. It was the first time ever that I was able to complete any kind of probation slash wellness court without any kind of violations or any kind of jail stays, or so it gave me an opportunity to really find out who I was and what I wanted to do. It was for the first time ever I was given an opportunity to hold myself accountable. All the other probation officers were like, well, you can't do this, you can't do that, da da da, whatever. this probation officer said, "Well, Curtis, you can use all the drugs you want. You can go do whatever you want. Just understand that you have consequences with each choice that you make." And I think
Right.
that's what I needed to hear at that time in my life, was like, someone telling me that I can't do this or can't do that. He told me, go ahead and do whatever you need to do. Just remember you got consequences. So I took that for what it was. And at the time I was getting ready to lose custody of my kids. And that was definitely something I didn't want. I always prided myself as being a father. I always wanted to be a father at a young age. And so I knew that wasn't what I wanted. I didn't want to lose custody of my kids. So I finally put in the work. I finally, held myself accountable, and I finally, took responsibility for all the bad choices that I made in life. And I was finally willing to listen to other individuals that had already walked this path that I wanted. I was so ignorant and arrogant, when I was younger. I thought I knew it all at the age of 20. I really did. The older I got, the more I realized I didn't really know nothing. And, so finally I just learned to shut my mouth and, just really listen. And that was for the first time in my life. I've always been someone who could talk. I've always been someone who, I guess, doesn't really listen. I was always one who was very charismatic, and I was able to, smooth talk anybody. So I think that was something that I really needed to do, was just be quiet for a while, and then I remember someone telling me, one of my first meetings I went to in 2016, my recovery date is February 26, 2016. And I sat 60 days first before I went to Hope House. And then one of my first meetings, I think it was somewhere around in May or June of 2016. I went to a meeting, and this old timer, his name was Len. And I'd been in and out of the meetings, a few times. And he told me, he's like, so this time I want you to try something. And I was like, what's that? And he goes, keep your mouth shut. So I was like, okay. So I was like, okay, I'll try that. And I mean, I got to be honest, it didn't really last that long. But I mean, probably the first month or two, I really did try to listen. I was really trying to listen more. And, and I really loved them old timer meetings.
They're
but
my
ultimately,
favorite. The
yeah, I know.
Cohasset post office meeting was my home group for a long time. I love
Yeah.
those old timers.
Yeah, Friday night's my favorite meeting. Ultimately, like I said, I was able to complete wellness court, successfully. I graduated after about 2 years. And then I ultimately end up getting custody of my kids. So now today I'm a single father of 3 kids. I do have 5 kids. One is an adult child, well, not an adult child, but he's an adult. He's 20. I mean, he's 25, and he does his own thing. He's in the carpenter union, and then I got my youngest boy, who just recently moved down to Spicer, Minnesota. But I do have 3 kids at home with me that I care for every single day, and my life would be nothing without them. I mean, I learned so much from them. It was almost like I was a kid again growing up, but my kids were there with me, and so it took a lot for me to grow up. I really needed that, to be humbled. I really needed that to show me, I guess, kind of what I missed out as a kid. I was forced to grow up really, really quick. So, so I kind of grew up with my kids at the same time, when I say that, a lot of people say, oh, but that's just because, like I said, I've always been really immature, But like I said, ultimately I end up with custody, and I wanted to give back the best way I could. And, I saw that with Sober Squad. One of my cousins was coming off a bad overdose where he almost lost his life. And I remember we were already doing all this stuff, we were going to meetings together. We were having family dinners together, family breakfasts. We're always doing stuff together. And Sober Squad just kind of expanded. And so, like, I brought everybody together, and I asked them, I'm like, what are we really doing for the community? We said we wanted to start this to do something bigger. So then we got the crazy idea of having a sobriety event. and we held it in Catholic in Cohasset, Minnesota, and we did it for 2 years. Called We Recovery. We just had a full day event showcasing recovery. We had speakers. We had so many businesses in the Grand Rapids, Minnesota that donated to our cause. I mean, we had a recliner that we were able to raffle off. We had bikes. We had TVs. We had something
Movie
from just
tickets. I won movie tickets.
movie tickets. We had just about any kind of gift card that you could get from McDonald's, Burger King, Jimmy John's, Country Kitchen. Every single restaurant donated to us. Walmart donated to us. I mean, it was crazy, like just the amount of support that we got. But it didn't stop there. I mean, we did a recovery walk, and we partnered with Hope House. And we were doing all this stuff 2018, 2019, and then COVID shut it down.
Yeah.
I to this day I still do a recovery walk in Cache Lake. June 28th will be the 4th annual one that we're doing. I kind of moved away from the Grand Rapids area, so that's why I focus a lot of my stuff over there, because that's where I ultimately work as well. But I'm still, I sponsor. I mean, I'm always getting phone calls from people in treatment asking if I remember them. We do get together and have coffee and, just kind of catch up. And a lot of them do ask me, well, how did you do it? And it was really simple. I just really made a choice to do things different, to change everything. I don't hang around the same people I used to. I don't go to the same places that I used to. I stay away from family members. I set healthy boundaries, go to meetings. And I guess at the end of the day, I just make sure that I do the next right thing, and I go to bed where I'm not upset or mad or angry. I really take really good care of myself. I do a lot of self-care. And, that's ultimately what it came down to for me. I got back into the things that I truly loved, spending time with my kids. I just literally got back from baseball practice. I mean, that's such a joy to watch my boy, engage in a sport that I loved for so many years. This past fall, my kids talked me into start playing basketball again, and I haven't done that in like 20 years. But that's the thing is, like, I'm not closed-minded to anything. Like, I'm open to try anything and everything with my kids. Where before, when I was in my active addiction, my oldest boy would ask me to do something, I'll be like, no, maybe later. But that's because I was always going through withdrawals or something. So, and my life is definitely different. I give back every way I can. I just try to help people, like, even if it's just little things. Like, I got people that are in treatment and they ask me, well, can you help me out with cigarettes? Can you help me out with pot? Can you help me out with this? And it's just really about giving back, and there's a lot of people that don't know about that, but there's a reason for that. It's because, like, I don't need to be recognized for helping people. You
gotta give it away to keep it.
Yeah, but that's the thing is, like, I had so many people help me, so, like, now it's my turn to give back, and that's what I try to do. Like, I had Pipe that helped me so much. I had Len that helped me so much. I had Corey Babb that helped me so much. I had Jared, I had Bobby, and the list just goes on and on. It really does. And, watching them operate how they did, it really inspired me to want to do more, because I watched them give wholeheartedly. I mean, honestly, they gave everything they had, and at the end of the day, they were exhausted. So that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be like them. They were definitely my role models, coming up in the Grand Rapids area. And I'll still say it, Grand Rapids is the best recovery community I've ever been in.
By far. I agree wholeheartedly. There was one thing I wanted to ask you about. Remember when you went to Washington?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What was that about?
I got to go speak on behalf of Joint Jurisdictional Courts. And what that is, it's wellness court, but it's tribal courts and county courts working together, to come up with a plan or a solution for individuals who kind of teeter on the reservation county borders, I guess, so to speak. So I went out there and I spoke to 4 different briefings. It was 4 different departments out there. It was the Department of Defense, the Bureau of Indian Affairs, Department of Health and Human Services, and Department of Interior, I think it was.
Okay.
So there's about 4 of them I went and spoke to. I mean, it was all because of Wellness Court. I was doing so well in Wellness Court, and they gave me an opportunity to go out there with the judges and speak about my experience that I was having, the success that I was having, in Wellness Court. So they're trying to get more money for a different pilot site, I guess, with Leech Lake in Itasca, where it would be more based around like a juvenile setting. So like juveniles could do the same stuff what we were doing as adults in Wellness Court, so we could try to catch them at a young age.
Yeah.
But also their parents would be able to access resources as well, so they could heal together as a family. So that was the mission behind all that.
Keeping the family together and yeah. That's really fucking awesome, actually. I'm proud of you, dude. I never knew you in use. I had always heard of you, but we didn't really travel in the same.
Yeah, I wasn't a very nice guy, I'll tell you that. I mean, and that's, I look at the people that I hurt, and I definitely had to make my amends with all of them. And my kids' mom was one of them, now she's like my best friend today, like she comes over and visits my house, and, I trust her, coming to my house, whatever, trust her to stay here when I'm on vacation or me and my kids are gone somewhere, but I mean, like truly having like her as a best friend when, we couldn't make it as a couple. I mean, that says a lot, about how far both of us have come, So, and then I still do a lot of speaking engagements. I definitely, I love giving back. I do. I mean, I've never said no when people have asked me. I said no once. I wasn't in a very good place last fall when my wife and I had just split up and, started the divorce proceedings. But other than that, I've never said no. I actually go to Grand Marais next Wednesday, and they're paying for me to come up there, and they're getting me a hotel room and stuff. So, I go all over the state still, and I still speak. I had a chance to speak with a guy on a podcast from. He used to live in Oklahoma, but he lives in Dallas, Texas now.
Oh, my boyfriend's from Oklahoma.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. So, and I've met a lot of people, along the way. I've had an opportunity working in the substance use disorder field where, I was able to have more networking. I was able to, meet people on a different like platform. Mm-hmm. So now, and then we're able to exchange and stuff. And now like I'm going to all this other stuff with the National Harm Reduction Coalition, the Opioid Coalition. Now they're getting ready to be, they want to have me start, it's called ORAC. It's one of Governor Walz's things for opiates. They want a Leech Lake member to be a part of that. So they literally just talked with me with it today about it, and it's just so many great opportunities that have come, from recovery. They want me to come work part-time for New Leaf. And that's what I mean. It's just all about giving back. People always ask me, how do you do so much in a 24-hour day? And I'm like, you just do, because that's what it comes down to. You really got to love what you do, and you got to really love people. And that's where I'm at today. Anybody I can reach is going to be better for the community that they're involved with. Because I've said it multiple times, the drugs today are designed to do more than just ruin your life. They're designed to kill you. And it's sad. It really is sad to see that this is where drug dealers are at, where they're to the point where it doesn't matter if they're killing this person or that person, because they know someone's going to be knocking on their door tomorrow. And that's something that I'm trying to help prevent, being on all these coalitions. So, but,
Well, that's awesome, dude. Thank you for coming on and talking with me tonight. That's really cool. That's good to hear. You're leading by example.
you cut out again.
Oh, sorry. This internet I don't think is gonna hold out, and it just started pouring. So,
Okay. Well, I did want to say one other thing. Shanae, you are simply amazing. From the moment I met you and everything that you're doing, I appreciate you so much. Whatever you're doing, keep up the good fight. I definitely am inspired by you. You know, I'm not on Facebook other than in the morning, but I definitely am watching. So I definitely appreciate you.
thank you, sir. That means a lot to me.
Yeah. But you know, it is a good fight. But I think your internet's giving out on you there.
It is. It is. All right. Well, you have a good night, Curtis. Thank you for coming on here.
Thanks for having me, and take care.
Yeah.
Love you.
You too. Love you too. Bye.
Bye.
Well, that's it for Wellness Wednesday. I hope you guys all enjoyed that. That really made me happy. It makes me happy to see people that when I first got sober, that are still around. And then there goes my internet again. So, you guys have a wonderful night, and I will see you next Tuesday.
But when that light hits the sky, it's not just a call. It's a warning. To them, fear is a tool. They think I'm hiding in the shadows, but I am the shadows.